Yo, what is good, everybody? We are back. I know it's been a while. Mr. Bazel, how's it going, man?
It's warm in this hotel room, and I ain't finna leave it for nothing.
I hear that, man. Listen, that time of year is coming. You gotta stay warm. That get you know what I'm saying? But I'm not selling that, so we're not gonna sit here and you know what I'm saying? We're not gonna put that on. But I know you got some hats in your store. I'm about to have some in mine. But anyway, we're here to talk Ravens, Browns predictions, but we will get to that in a little bit. Before we get there, update on Thursday Night Football: the Panthers are leading the Chicago Bears. Now, before we get to the Ravens, I need to know your hero and zero from Week 9.
Man, that's hard.
It
I
is,
spent
ain't
most
it?
I spent most of week 9 in the air.
Yeah, I can see how that could be a problem. So,
I got my boy Mitchell. He's
mm,
definitely the hero. And I mean, whoever plays us obviously is zero because they got their head whooped. They got
mm,
mollywopped. They got
it's
handled.
facts.
But I'm gonna lay that
It's facts.
squarely on Pete Carroll's head because I mean, he's an idiot.
He's Pete Carroll, right? So, for me, my hero and zero for Week 9. I am going to start with that Ravens Seahawks game, and I'm going to say it's Mike McDonald. I mean, he's got to be the hero, right? He found a way to shut down that receiving core, not just any receiving core. That one, like that team is stacked at wide receiver. I don't, a lot of I don't know if anybody will disagree with that. But to me, that team is stacked at wide receiver. So to shut those guys down was like that was new. That was something different. Like they was built different.
I
And to
give you
hold them
that.
to only 6 first downs, crazy.
Your leading receivers, your slot guy, 66 yards and 6 catches. That's crazy.
Crazy. Like that's next level right there. But I can't give the Seahawks my zero because they played the Ravens. And right now the Ravens are an absolute buzzsaw when it comes to facing these top tier teams, right? So
Especially
my
NFC.
zero, my zero of the week is gonna go to the Miami Dolphins. And the reason being they lost to the Chiefs, right? And yes, they're a winning team, but they have not beat a winning team all year long.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were.
And this game was a chance for them to prove, hey, the Chiefs aren't the ones you need to look out for anymore. It's us. And they couldn't do it. Now I get they played in London, but both teams had to travel, right? Both teams had to go through the same stuff. You have to show up and you have to win that game if you're Miami.
If anything,
And
it will be more difficult to defend Miami's multifaceted offense than to defend the Chiefs. So the Chiefs have more to worry about. And Steve Spagnuolo said, "Nah, nah, nah, nah. I won 2 Super Bowls because of my defense. As a defensive coordinator, we're gonna show you how to shut down the Dolphins again."
yeah, he says time to put that clamps on them. And you know what? It's one of those things that's kind of shocking to me that Miami can't seem to find a way to beat a team that's 500 and up. Um,
Hey, Yolanda.
it's it's kind of scary because they're one of those teams that you expect to be there in the end. But if they're not, who takes their place? You know what I mean? Miss Yolanda, good evening. Glad you
I
could join
didn't
us.
I didn't expect too much out of Miami. I expect them to put up crazy numbers in some games and just just explode for wild stuff that is like, wait, they did what? But I don't expect them to be consistent. I mean, Miami's Miami. It is what it is. What it's always been.
So early on, I picked them to win that division, and they still might do that. But I don't know if they could beat Buffalo now.
Nah, I don't think they can.
So if they can't beat Buffalo, and Buffalo keeps the records close, then Buffalo's going to win the division. But call me crazy, I'm still going to stick with my pick of Miami winning that division. I think something has to change, and I think something will change going down the line, heading into the later part of the year. I mean, we're at the midpoint already, so I think heading into that later part of the year, maybe Miami hits his stride, kicks it up a notch. I don't know. But speaking of hitting strides and kicking it up a notch, that brings me to the Ravens. And the question is, as we get into our Ravens Browns predictions, the question is, have they hit their peak? Did the Ravens peak too soon? What
They're
do you
not
think?
close to peaking. Their offense is clunky, as a former NFL quarterback has said, who's probably, I believe he's a Hall of Famer. Is he a Hall of Famer? Yeah, it's clunky. And there's times where it's like Justin Fields said, it looks robotic. And then there's times where it's like, okay, the plays are being called correctly, and then Lamar's doing some stuff that is otherworldly, that's making the play calls look correctly. But it's not consistent. Like we had 24 in the first half, and then we scored a touchdown, two field goals after.
Mm-hmm.
So you scored 24 in the first half. I mean, even running, you can get creative running. Couple good, a run, one good run, an average run, 2-yard slant for a throw. I mean, we did good enough that Snoop came in, and he handled a few things, but it's just like we can't turn it on and keep it on when we need to. It's still feast or famine. We're putting up numbers, but that offense is still feast or famine. Now the defense, if the offense could stay continuous, the defense could only get better.
Miss Yolanda says the offense is improving, but still has a long way to go, and I agree. So for me, I'm hoping they haven't peaked too early, right? Because while the offense is still trying to find its stride, the defense has been outstanding. But can they keep up this level of play for such a long season and then into the playoffs? Obviously health is a thing, so we got to worry about guys staying healthy. And we'll talk about injuries in a minute, but I'm afraid that in the coming weeks there's going to be, and I'm hoping it's just one game, but there's going to be a moment where we see the Ravens kind of come back down to earth and realize that, okay, we are human. And I'm okay with that as long as it's only one or two games in the regular season rather than coming back down to earth in the playoffs when we get against the good teams, because that's when it's harder to make comebacks and things of that nature. So
Hokage.
yeah, I was just about to get to it. My guy, best name on YouTube, by the way, Zeke Hokage was good. But yeah, the Ravens. Um, I'm not. I'm with you where I think I'm with you, Yolanda, where I think no, they haven't completely peaked because the offense is still trying to find their strides. But has the defense peaked? Maybe because I'm not sure this defense right now. And I was gonna make this something we talked about in this stream. This defense is borderline one of the best defenses of all time thus far. If you look at the numbers that's being put up.
Well, they're still missing players, so they can still improve if those players come back and do their jobs. Not even do anything great, but just do their jobs.
Yes,
It
this
can
is
get
true.
even better.
This is true, and that's the kind of the scary thing, right? But I think that's part of why I think this defense might have reached its ceiling because it's like once you get guys back, now you got to implement them in. You got to hope they can play their role. Hope they're not held down by the injuries that's held them out of the games. It's one of those things where if it's if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So if I'm the Ravens, I'm looking at certain guys that's out right now, and I'm saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, but you got to stay out." Like we're playing too good right now to lessen somebody who's on a good run to lessen their role for you to step in and make this defense clunky all over again. Things are running way too smooth right now.
Okay, let me ask you
So
this.
go ahead.
You're saying this defense is okay if somebody comes in, but say Owe comes in and he starts going crazy on the end, and Ojabo comes back and he starts going wild on the end. If you stop having to blitz all these, because we have the most sacks in the league, but you have like 6 or 7 of them coming from cornerbacks. If your defensive line steps up and you no longer have to send those corners, could you imagine when we could say, okay, we're sending a 3-down lineman and one of any 4 linebackers that you don't know which one it is, and we could just play a combo man zone and know that one of them 4 guys is getting home in 3 to 4 seconds. Or you're going to rush it and you throw a pick or pass gets batted down. If you get somebody on the front end to step up, that back end could improve even more if you can actually drop 5 or 6 people into coverage instead of our combo. We're doing a man combo on the back end, but we're also doing a dog or zone blitz on the front end. Could you imagine if we could completely simplify it and let our pass rush do their job and let our corners do their job and send a random blitz? We could send a 1 corner, 1 linebacker blitz if we only have to rush 3 down linemen.
Listen, it can be very scary, but I mean, in Owe is back and he's playing pretty well. I'm not gonna knock that at all. But let's see. Yolanda says, "I don't think the defense has reached its ceiling. There are still missed tackles and missed sacks. This is true, but as I was just saying, they're improving." Um, living legend in the building, and last stream he came in was different. It's so I see what you're saying, right? If we can get a majority of the pressure with the front 4, and if you look at it, the front 4 has been doing very well with pressures. I get it. We blitz a lot. A lot of our sacks come from from the blitzes, but our front 4 is doing enough. I mean, they're stopping the run, and then they're doing enough with getting pressure too that they're getting a lot of the sacks themselves.
But
He's been doing a lot of stunts and things like that to make it work.
But that's what I'm saying. He's scheming this pressure.
Yes,
He's doing a far better job of what Wink Martindale was supposed to do, as opposed to saying, "Hey, these 3 are coming. You have to still figure out the 4th and possible 5th one to come." Instead of just being like, "Hey, these are 3 guys. They're on their way. They're on their way." Because we're still dropping our defensive tackle into coverage. So we're still zone dog blitzing. We're doing stuff that is risky, that he's called at the right times to make the defense look good.
Exactly.
But it's some of them things that, man, Tom Brady would have been like, "I know you didn't just drop that D lineman into the middle zone where the linebacker just was. I know you don't expect me to not run a slant behind that the next time you decide to do something so foolish." Yes, he's disguising it well, but we could simplify this and still be, okay, we're going to send the 3 and always going to blitz. Okay, this time Clowney's going to blitz. This time Van Noy's going to come. Hey, PQ's coming straight down the middle on an A-gap blitz, but you have those 3 and you're sending 1 and possibly 2. We're dropping, moving, zoning. You got Roquan running 20 yards up the field on a hash trying to wall off a deep post that you're hoping is going to be there. And if you call it at the wrong time, he's running down that and it's a quick slant right to where he left. Mike McDonald's is calling a
Bringing that
hell
up.
of a goddamn game. It's not just the
Yeah,
defense. He's scheming
absolutely.
the hell out of it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. No. You're 100%. I agree. That's part of the point I'm making. But before I get back to that, you bring up, Tom Brady would have been looking like, did y'all really just drop that D tackle back? So what are guys like Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, all those guys, right? So do you think the league right now has a point where is at a point where these quarterbacks are no longer beating defenses with their mind? It's all about quarterback athleticism. How much of a
it's
difference does that make in a game of football? And does this defense not look as well if they have to play the guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, these guys that picked your play apart before they even snapped the ball?
it's not just that. It's that he's mixing his plays so well that you're like, okay, next time I see that, I got you. And then it's like, okay, you send the same formation. He's like, okay, cool. You're gonna do something similar. And now all of a sudden it's a cover four, but it's still in the same package that you ran that combo dog blitz.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't like Tom Brady would be like, okay, I think it's there. It's like Mike McDonald is playing those Ray Lewis chess matches with the QB himself. The defensive coordinator is playing the chess match instead of the middle linebacker, and then you still have Roquan to complete it on the field. So Mike McDonald's like, here's what we're going to show him. Here's what we're really going to do. Like Coach said, here's what we're going to show you. Here's what we're really going to do. And then Roquan's sitting there like, hey, I studied that tape. Hey, he's running right. Don't worry about it. So you basically have Ray Lewis and Marvin Lewis again.
I was about to say that. I was about to say it's like back in the day when we had Ray Lewis and then you had Marvin Lewis, where you had a D coordinator that was also smart enough to outplay an offensive coordinator. So it's a great combo of things. I can't lie. I would like to have seen a defense like this against a quarterback like Peyton Manning, where he doesn't have the athleticism to move, but he's got to pick you apart with his brain. Because I want to see how, and I guess the quarterback to do that against now would be Pat Mahomes, right? Because he has the offensive coordinator in Andy Reid, or the offensive play caller in Andy Reid, that will make the subtle changes that may mean the difference in the game, right? It's Don't get me wrong. A great defense to me will always be the deciding factor in winning a championship, right? You can't win championship with absolutely no defense. You got to have a couple defensive breaks, one or two defensive plays. Well, you got a defense that's playing lights out like our defense is right now, and then you have the offense finding its stride like our offense is right now. That makes this team highly dangerous, like extremely dangerous. Are they the most dangerous Ravens team that we've had in franchise history?
Yeah, clearly. Because we always had a dangerous defense. Even in our down years of defense, we were still top 10, top 15 most of the time. But the problem was, even if we had a top 10 quality defense, we had the 22nd, 23rd offense. So it's like they were fighting for their lives for 45 out of the 60 minutes. It was useless. They just like last year and the year before. Yeah. The last two Greg Roman years. Yeah, we were holding people to nothing in the first half. They got a little bit in the third quarter. But by the fourth quarter, they were so fucking tired. They were like, bruh, if he runs another 9 route, just let him go. Just let him score so we can get off the field.
Let them score. We need to
Get
go
some
sit down for a
right.
while.
Like, just let him get to the 50, and then we'll stop him in time to score a field goal. So, hey, in 3 plays, you're across the 50, and then we'll shut you down when the field tightens up, make you the field goal. Hey, we need 5 air machines on the sidelines so we can get some breath in before y'all come off on y'all 3 and out. Like, it was crazy like that. So our defense is top 10, and our offense should be top 10 too. It's not yet, but it can get there. I don't remember last time any team could say, "Oh, we have a top 10 defense and offense, points and yard wise. We're top 5 points and yard wise defensively."
Yeah.
Like that's
So
crazy.
before we get to talking about our opponents in the Cleveland Browns, I don't know if you remember this, but prior to the season starting, they had Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson outside of the top 10 for best quarterbacks in the NFL. Right?
Oh,
They had them
I remember
outside the
that.
top 10. Okay,
It was a
both of them,
video we
which is
did. What wasn't the top?
crazy.
Wasn't it like Lamar was 12 or 13?
Yeah, so they were, I mean, highly disrespectful, right? And hold on, before I finish my thought here, living legend, the vaunted Browns defense couldn't stop a nosebleeds when we played. You're right. You're absolutely right, and we're going to get into that in a second because that's one of the things specifically I want to talk about. How their defense is top 10, and they couldn't do anything with us. But Lamar Jackson and
Well,
Jalen Hurts, two
that goes
quarterbacks.
back to the point I was making. They're a top defense, but they were just on the field so damn
Yeah,
much that it was just like, bruh. Can y'all? Who's our
hey, I
third
give
safety?
up.
Put him in.
I'm tapping out.
Right. Who's the third safety? Put him in. Somebody went
Yeah,
down with a
I'm
toe injury
tapping
and
out.
couldn't come back.
Yeah, he was like, I'm tapping out. Tapping out. Hey, coach, take me out, coach. If you don't take me out, I'm faking an injury. I'm like, you know
Look,
now.
you see a guy hit the ground. Oh Lord, my head. I think something hit my head. You said concussion protocol? Yeah. Take me to the tent. Take me to the
Yeah,
tent.
yeah, yeah. Put me in the tent. Put me in the tent. So yeah, and I'm starting to think that those analysts that made that list had a concussion because now you look at it, the season's played out, and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts are in the top 5, right? I think they're top 3. I think Jalen is 1 and Lamar is 3. I think if I'm not mistaken. So I think they're top 3 in that whole search right now for MVP. And do you think Lamar can win the MVP this year?
No, they're too busy slicing everybody else. I ain't gonna lie. They're gonna be like, oh, he had 4 fumbles. He only lost 2. He has less interceptions than most of the QBs. But like even like you said, Patrick Mahomes, I don't think he could even beat our defense the way it is. He is like he's doing terrible this year. He's throwing interceptions this year. He's beating
Yeah, he's been playing pretty bad.
the his plays that he has high QBR rating on are the broken plays that he's always done with Kelsey or I mean, coach pointed it out. They ran the same play like 8 times. The defense caught on, and Kelsey was like, hey, throw it to the running back. So then he threw it to the running back, and the running back got 30 yards. So it's like it's kind of his top plays are backyard football. I mean, he's favored at plus 300, but we all know that Michael Penix Jr. was what was he plus what plus 12 or 1300 by the 4th week of the college football season. Now I think you might get him at
That
negative 250.
Yeah, that changed big time. So, right, you just talked about how they're going to see things and the struggles that Pat Mahomes is having, and this is off subject, but could they really be missing Eric Bieniemy right now? Like,
No, I know they're missing Eric Bieniemy. Their offense does not have the confidence it once had. They don't run as many of those trick plays because guess what? They don't even install them as much in practice because why? We're not even sure we're going to be that far ahead. How is the Commanders QB at even 75% of the stats that Mahomes is at, and they're Washington. Like, bro, they're
well,
Washington. They're
what
flat
y'all
out
doing? Washington
trash.
got a nice little squad. Washington
Their
got a nice little
QB
squad.
is they have a squad. Their QB's trash. The
Come
rumors
on,
that
man, we can't.
even the
How
rumors
can we
that the
call?
Washington Post put out was that for all intents and purposes, Eric Bieniemy is a head coach, and pretty much Riverboat Ron is pretty much just showing up and claiming credit.
Hmm.
So you tell me
So
who would not be missing that?
how can we say that Sam Howell's complete trash when we have Mac Jones and Daniel Jones in this league? Just saying. Just saying, he's playing better than both. Yeah,
And you know what they are?
ratio is always. Sorry
The
about that.
trash.
Ratio is
They're the
always. I
trash.
still. I
Oh, sorry.
agree.
They're the trash burning on the barge that they send down the river in New York. I wouldn't even call them
Flock
dumpster juice.
Nation
They're
stays strong, right? Flock Nation stays strong.
right. They are burnt trash. They're getting burned at the stake.
Burnt trash. Dang,
Yeah, they burning that. That thing
that's
on a
terrible.
whole ship burning like the Vikings funeral.
Now, since you want to talk about burnt trash, let's talk about these Cleveland Browns, right? And their quarterback situation. Deshaun Watson is not even half of what he used to be at this point. Do we think that he has a chance of getting better? I mean, he's obviously, to me, he's on the hot seat, right? At least with the fans. You're paying
Deshaun,
this man a record contract. He's not performing in the least bit, and he's been missing more games than playing. Is he the guy we think he is, or close to the guy he
we
used to be?
we.
We okay, all right.
My wife is French, but
Is,
I ain't.
is he the guy that some of us thought he was? Right? I mean, he's never been able to beat Lamar Jackson. Let's just go on.
No,
Let's go on ahead and say that he's never been
but
able to beat Lamar Jackson.
before I give you this gospel, first give honor and glory to God. Because you know you got before you get the gospel, you got to get at. You tell me what the hell he did before he got that contract. Because he's on a he was just a Herbert. He was worse than Herbert. He wasn't even putting up Herbert numbers. Did he win a playoff? No, I believe Mahomes came back down 25 on his ass. He made it to the playoffs and got smoked.
Hey, Deshaun was still putting up
He was
crazy
putting up
numbers and finding ways to win.
he was putting up decent numbers with the receiver who I don't know what he had one, maybe 2 seasons that he didn't have 1,000 yards. Bernard Hopkins is like Brandon Cooks. I don't care who the QB is. If he plays 16 games, he's getting 1,000 yards no matter what. And you forget he had Nuck on one side, he had Arian Foster on the other side. He even had Andre at one point.
Yeah, he had weapons. That man had weapons. I can honestly say if Lamar had those weapons, he would have been won the Super Bowl.
Right. He had those weapons. He didn't even need a tight end. You had JJ Watt on the other side. You throw an interception, he calls it a sack fumble. Everything narrows out. If you have the defensive player of the year 3 times in a row who was playing so well that they thought about giving a defensive player the MVP over Tom Brady, you know your QB didn't have to do anything.
There's more to it though. There's more to it. I mean, I can even put out the fact that maybe
actually those massages didn't get completed, Legend. That's false. Them massages didn't get completed. That's why he was getting chased around.
And, yeah, honestly, the massages is why he's missing games now. He needs them. Like you see, Flex Zone said it right here. And by the way, if y'all not tuned in to the Flex Zone podcast, please go tune in. They got a great show over there. Absolutely amazing. They're on about 3 times a week, like wrestling, football. They cover it all. Definitely go over there. Maybe he needs those massages to be able to, get back to being that dude. Because
unless you're gonna get him in the middle of the mall in a public place, that ain't gonna happen.
He just looks different on the field. I mean, nothing to me. When I've seen him play, he doesn't look comfortable in the least bit. And the Browns have a good offensive line, so that's not the issue. He just doesn't look comfortable like he used to. He had a confidence about him, and it's just not there anymore.
DTR looks more comfortable than Deshaun does, and they barely let him on the field.
Well, not only DTR, the summer league, the spring football king got them a W. So I
Look,
mean,
they should have traded for Josh Dobbs. That's all. Let's keep it a buck.
yeah, but if you're the Browns franchise, if you're their organization, you can't go trade for another quarterback right now, right? Not in a trade that doesn't involve getting rid of Deshaun Watson.
Shit, me. They'll be about here somehow, one way or
Listen,
next. Look,
he's got to figure it out.
I will Errol Thomas his ass. Conduct detrimental
Mm,
to the
he was
team.
fighting.
Yeah, something.
Oh,
Hey, we had a team meeting. He was getting
we
his car
saw
washed.
him.
Ain't that what the Ravens
We
said?
came in.
The
We came
Ravens
in
said?
one day, and he got in a mean fight with the lotion bottle in the back area, and we didn't know what to do. So the team was very weirded out. All the guys felt disrespected. So we're gonna have him. We're gonna cut him for conduct detrimental to the team, and
We're gonna need that money back.
that's we're gonna need all of that back. I
As a matter of fact,
immediately.
keep what you made, but you ain't making no more.
I immediately. And
That's
then
what the
you know,
Ravens.
I
That's what the
mean,
Ravens said in there. Said, "Oh yeah, we had a team meeting, and he was getting his car washed, so he didn't show up to the team meeting, so we cut him."
hey, listen, stop. We ain't do that. Stop.
We did it. I swear
But
for
come
God.
on, don't act like that was the only reason though. It was
I
more
mean,
reasons than that.
he fought, but part of their whole thing was we would have team meetings, and he admitted to us that he was getting his car washed. We would have team meetings, and he admitted to us that
Yeah,
he went out to get something to eat.
I mean, this is the man that wasn't he having him and his brother running trains on chicks? Like he was focused on other things, and it wasn't football. That's what I'm saying. That him and his brother was over there slapping meats. That pause.
Arby's.
Pause. Him and his brother was too busy slapping meats for him to be worried about football. Pause. Anyway, back
Me and
to
my
the
brother
Browns.
wouldn't
Right?
even look at the same girl. Like if I look this
Right?
way, if
That's
I
what I'm
look at a
saying.
girl this way, my brother's looking all the way over there somewhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like we're not even looking in the same direction. Like you know, that was they was a little too close for me. So back to the Browns though, because that's a whole nother conversation with Earl. So back to the Browns, right?
Big
Top
Earl.
notch defense. Can they play us better this time around? I don't think so. I think we're gonna run away with this game. Um, but before I even give a score prediction, Miles Garrett made a statement. He wasn't necessarily trying to bash Lamar, but he said that Joe Burr is better is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson. Do you think that is billboard material for us, or is it just another like we're just gonna laugh that off? Who really cares that
It's
he said?
it's not in Billboard material because it's his opinion and his preference. But they're also going to leave out the part where he clearly said that facing Lamar Jackson is the hardest thing for him to deal with during the season. Having to deal with knowing I'm going to get around the corner in 2.7 seconds, and Lamar might be 4 yards up the field and gone, and I can't catch him. So he's clearly said he would rather face Joe Burrow than have to deal with Lamar because of what he has to deal with Lamar. Yes, he can throw, but yes, I'm going to get around the I'm going to slap the offensive tackle's hands away, and I'm going to dip and lean, and he's going to step forward and step to the left, and I'm going to be on the ground looking like just like Clowney was last year. Clowney was beside himself. He's like, I had my hands on him, and
Yeah, he was.
he's gone. Like I
He's
had
pissed.
both hands on him, and he's gone. Like what the like. Clowney was losing his mind. He's like, I've
I
never
think,
seen.
yeah, I think so. I think one of the most amazing things for me is
By
watching these
far,
games and seeing these defenders go up to Lamar after the plays, like, yo, I almost had you. I almost had you. And he's like, nah, no, you did. You tried, but you ain't quite
look,
there.
you never had me. You never had your car. Not double clutching like you should, granny shifting. It don't matter if it's by an inch or a mile.
Listen, so the one thing I have noticed, though, I have noticed Lamar's not as fast as he used to be.
He's not,
And that
but
might be a result
I wouldn't
of
even say
him
he's not
putting
as
weight
fast.
on, but
I don't say that he's not as fast because I saw a couple bursts in the last game. Lamar is a patient runner. He's like that third year Arian Foster where he's like, yeah, I could just take off like a rocket out of a cannon. But instead, I'm a He's like, he's doing a Luka Doncic. He's getting up to you, and then he's just, oh, here's a quick flash move. Like I literally saw when he had the guy to beat who already had the angle. But until like he's getting up the guy, he's basically doing like PQ has learned to do. Get him to guy, break down rap. Get him to guy, pit pat, step left. All right, get up out of there. Make the guy over here have to catch me. But I mean, when you can tell when he's fully running, and a lot of
You can see
time
the difference.
he's running at 70%, and then when he's like, okay, cool, I gotta go. He's doing a Tyreek Hill. He ain't fast as Tyreek Hill, but he's doing something like that.
No, he's still got major juice in his legs. I'm not saying he's drastically slower. I think he's just lost a tiny little bit of a step, but it could be more hesitation than anything else, right?
Yeah, I think
It
he's just
could be
not trying to
more
put that
him
that
thinking, okay, I'm
that
going to
risk.
pick up what I can and get down. I'm not trying to score on every play. But the thing that I love, though, when you see Lamar every single play, and except for when we get in the end zone, every single play, if Lamar gets tackled, and no matter what the play is, he's pounding the ground because he's upset that we didn't score on that play. It could be it could be 1st and 45 from the one. We could pick up the first down. We get the whole 45. We get 46 yards. He'll pound the ground because we didn't get the score. So Lamar's not he's not happy with small accomplishments, which is huge because when you're the leader of a team and you're saying, "No, we got to go get this," and then your
No,
mentality, you're trying to score every drive. Well, guess what? The rest of the offense's mentality is going to be: we got to score every drive. I think the
I'm
problem
gonna
now, the only problem
I'm
left
gonna
to
correct you.
the team with is John Harbaugh.
I'm gonna correct you. He's happy with other people's small accomplishments. Like he don't trip on like on his. He's like, all right, whatever. But have you seen how crazy he go when one of our guys gets a pick or scores
Oh
a
yeah,
touchdown? Like he damn near left out the goddamn field when Odell got his touchdown and when
oh yes.
Keaton broke up. I was like, damn, bro, you you going you like you ready to run harder than when you was in the game.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, he loves what his teammates are doing well, and that's part of that great leadership that they talk about with him, right?
Right. He appreciates
He
other
loves on
people's
his teammates to
achievements,
do it.
but
Yes, he absolutely appreciates it, and I think the reason he appreciates it so much is because he sees what it means to the overall cause to the team, right? If everybody's doing great, then the team has no choice but to do great. So it's and I think a part of it too that I've seen a lot in him this year is that him finally having the help. You can kind of see a weight lifted off his shoulders where he's feeling a little more, you know, like I said, he slaps the ground after every play, but that's because he wants to score on every play. But when you see him, whether it be talking to teammates or different things, there's a weight off of him that you can see in post game shows, everything. Like you can see a weight lifted off of him with him having the help he needed this year. You know what I mean? He looks different as far as like especially when he's playing the pocket now. It's like he doesn't feel the need to jump out and run, even though the offensive line is terrible, right? Or struggling. He doesn't run as much because he doesn't feel the need to. So now he finds himself where he's in that position where he's like, I want to hold on to the ball longer because I know my guys can get open now. Whereas before it was like, I have to hold on to the ball longer so I can find a way to make a play. But you see the difference because he's hanging behind the pocket, hanging. He'll get as close to that line of scrimmage as possible before he lets that thing go. When
right, and
he's
we
going,
yelling run,
he's got a
just run.
chance. Yeah, like we like take off, Lamar. It's 10 yards open in front of you. Take it. He's like, nah. I know somebody's coming open. Got him. So I have a fond appreciation of it, but you can see when he's doing it now, he's having more fun doing it than what he was, say, last year, where the offensive line is breaking down, he's moving around. He knows he can't look for guys because nobody was open. Duve wasn't
You
getting
want
open.
you want
Prochet
to know what's
wasn't getting
crazy?
open.
You want to know what's crazy? I'm gonna let you finish too, right? You ain't peeped the whole time how I got the blue on the shirt and I got the purple over top of my little cam, right? And you got the blue over top of your jump, but you got the purple all little. Yeah, you ain't noticed that, peep game.
Yeah, I didn't. A little fade on the. Okay, that's how we work, though. That's how we work, though. You know what I'm saying?
Hard to stand
Well,
out the way
here's the
this
thing,
year.
right?
That's what it is. He's staying out the way
So
this
that's
year.
what I was about to. That's what I was about to say. I was gonna say I think it's more so Harb's coordinators are doing a darn good job this year, and he's doing a better job of not constantly saying, you know what, let's go for it, let's go for it, let's go for it. He's trusting the offense more because he trusted the coordinator more.
He's trusting
He
the
knows
defense
the
more.
defense is good. Yep, he knows the defense is going to get the stops. Only thing he got to do now, only thing Harbs needs to do now is make sure he gets the team up and ready to play every week. He struggles to do that against lesser teams. And I think maybe they're sick of that same old speech every week. Who's got it better than us? Nobody. Yeah, no, we're
I
sick of
don't
that.
even think. I don't even think it's the same old speech. I don't think he's even. I don't think he's
In
when it's a
touch.
lesser team. When it's a lesser team, he's just kind of in the building and he's letting the coordinators. Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
he
this
doesn't
guy's gonna
care.
do this. This guy's gonna do that. He's not even. I don't think. I think on certain teams, he's not even driving the message. He's like, yeah, we gotta get out of this game with the win. Make sure everybody does a job. Hey, watch tape tonight instead of third. Instead of hey, yo. So when I watch this team, I see this, I see that. Like when it's a bigger team, I'm sure he's calling every other hour. Hey, Mike. So I just watched this play that they ran last week. You got something for that? Yeah, I got something for that. Hey Todd, you know, their right defensive end is out. You gonna take advantage of that, right? Uh-huh. Hey, did you hear that their safety might not play? Oh, yeah, I heard that. Hey, did you know that we got a wide receiver coming back in this week? Like he's on people to do their jobs more some weeks, and I think on other weeks it's kind of like, hey, I trust you to do your job.
Yeah, I think so too. So I saw a thing with Harbs where he was saying he was kind of giving a speech and he was like, "Yeah, we got the Browns coming up." And then he goes, "We got the Browns coming up on Sunday, so we're gonna get ready for that. But then we got the Bengals on Thursday, but we're gonna worry about the Browns on Sunday. But we do got the Bengals Thursday." And it's like, well, why do you keep saying it? And then he tried to switch it to, and then we're gonna keep it going, right? We're gonna focus on that Sunday, and then we're gonna focus on the Sunday after that, and the Sunday after. The point of like you're slowly making the point of you're saying, yeah, we got the Browns coming up, and you're clearly overlooking them because then you're pointing to that Thursday game against the Bengals, right? You can't do that as a head coach. The games after Sunday's game should have never even came up. It should have been
Right.
like, we got the Browns next. That's our focus. Let's go to work.
And that's what I'm saying. He's not present of mind like he used to be. He used to just be like, "We got the Browns. We're gonna handle the Browns. I don't want to hear nothing else." And now it's
Yeah.
like, he's Joe Biden. He going a little senile.
I mean, he's also a old school coach who's trying to, do
Nah.
things younger coaches would do.
Before he was much more like Belichick. Here's your answer. Here's your answer. Now he's
Yeah.
Chatty Cathy.
Yeah,
You
well,
couldn't
that's when we used to get Hood Hardball, right?
right. You
When
get
he
Hood
used to come
Harbaugh.
out.
Now
Yeah,
it's like you ask him a question about the Browns, he gonna tell you the game plan for the next 3-4 weeks if you're gonna sit there long enough to listen.
yeah. And I don't know, maybe it is the fact he's getting older. I think he's probably if we win the Super Bowl this year, I wouldn't be surprised to see him walk away. Say, you know what, I want to take some time off.
Harps is
You
becoming
know,
a diva. He's starting to think he's a star or something. That's what that shit is.
I mean, this is true. I mean, he does kind of. I wouldn't say he likes his name in the limelight, but being talked about as one of the longest um, tenured head
Tenured head
coaches in the
coach.
league,
But
and
he's also giving more
one of the best
answers that lead
records.
people. He's giving more answers that lead people to assume. So that now, okay, they're talking about this for a week later, as opposed he used to be like, yeah, I don't. He is in rehab, and we're hoping to get him back as soon as possible. It's like, oh well, he has a decision to make on how he wants to rehab. Oh, so you know this question coming up for the next 2 weeks, right? Until that player
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
"Oh, I'm going to rehab" or "I'm going on IR," like when did he ever say he's going to make an announcement about a player the day before?
never. So Harbs used to be very tight to the vest when it came to injuries, and he was that guy that
We can't
he
talk about
didn't
that.
want to. If he was going to ask an injury question, he avoided it at all costs. We're not going to talk about that right now. He'll be back eventually. Or he's working on it. You get the most vague answer possible
He
to
was
the
an
point where you
OG.
would think he was playing. Yeah, like you thought he was playing mind games. Like remember, oh well, Lamar could play this week, but we don't know if we're gonna play him or Huntley. Either one can go. We'll
Right.
see.
He used to be the we worry
He
about the
used to
guys who are
try
in the
to.
building.
Yeah, he tried to play mind games with teams.
Try to be on his
Now it's
Belichick.
like, yeah, now it's like, yeah, no, he's not gonna be here Sunday. We're waiting to see what he wants to do as far as his injury. Wait, what do you mean waiting to see what he wants to do? Like, what do you? And that part, I mean, that part really bothers me because there's already been so many questions about this staff, and
Now you putting it on a player.
yeah. So it's like, when do you get enough of? And he's done it a lot lately, right? Deflecting and putting it on other people. Oh, John, why are you going for it on fourth down so much? Oh well, Lamar, those guys, they like to go for it. They said they want to go for it, so I let them. No, you're the head coach, right? You make that decision. So a player will always tell you the answer that a player will tell you. So if he says I want to go for it, then he's always going to go for it, right? If
Right,
a
they're
player
like, we can
says
get 2
I'm
yards.
hurt, I want to rehab it, then he's always going to take his time rehabbing it. So John's just kind of become this. He's always been a beta, right? Uh, but he's always been a beta trying to be an alpha. But
Now
now it
he's trying to
seems
be a
like he's just,
personality. He's trying to be a
yeah,
personality now.
yeah. And it's not working. I don't know if he's trying to do this because he feels like with the players getting younger, there's things he needs to change as far as the offense goes, or the team in general goes with being a leader. But it's not working either way.
I'm gonna tell you what I've been thinking since this year has begun. He's on a hot seat. Bashadi has given EDC permission. Hey, if you think this guy needs to go, you can fire him. And now he's trying to bloom into this likable person. And if it don't work out, how is supposed to work out in his eyes, which he keeps his job another year or two, then he's more personable to get a job somewhere else. Because that attitude, mentality, style that he has, you can't do that in New York. You can't do that in Los Angeles. I wish you would try to do that in Texas. Like these big markets, they're not going to allow those type of coaches. That's not going to fly. So now he's like, I think he's trying to be more personable in case something goes down, that he can get a college job for a couple of years and come back up, or he could get a job somewhere else. Because if he does this whole, oh, I'll let you know when I know something thing, or I don't speak on players' injuries because that's between him and the doctor, or you know, I can't comment on that right now because it's something ongoing. We want to keep privacy. Man, a lot of markets aren't even going to accept a coach like that. It ain't matter if you can coach or
Yeah,
not. They're just not. They know. Like Jerry Jones knows. If I have this quiet coach who don't want to talk about nothing, then my fans are going to be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Well, you know what? Jerry Jones is the star out there, though, so he doesn't want a coach that's going to talk about anything. He wants to talk about everything.
Well,
Jerry
he don't want to
Jones is the
coach.
star out there. Don't forget that.
Jerry Jones don't want a Bill Belichick type coach either. Bill
This is true.
Jerry Jones wants the team to have personality. And if you have a Bill Belichick, the team doesn't have that same personality that sells $2 billion in merch a year. So it's like one of them same things where we want to be profitable, more profitable than competitive.
Yeah.
A Bill Belichick or a Harbs is going to kill your merch sales as a Dallas ball club. Now the Texans, you can have a quiet coach and be okay.
Yeah. Well, they got a good head coach right now. At least it's looking like it. So real quick, we'll get ready to close this out. We've been going a lot longer than I told you we was gonna go, and you was gonna try to let it slide too.
I said 90, right?
Yeah. What is your final score predictions for the game against the Browns?
Hey, I got it like, I don't know, about 28-16, touchdown, 3 field goals for the Browns. 1 touchdown, 3 field goals to the Browns. We won't get them four TDs because I don't. Did he? Did we even kick a field goal last week?
Yeah,
we did. Maybe it was the week before. I'm thinking of the week before. We only scored touchdowns.
So look, Flex Zone earlier said 20-16, right? And I feel like that's really close. Yolanda, there will be no 2-hour stream tonight. Maybe Sunday.
You missed the food stream. You missed the food stream earlier.
You missed the food. You did miss the food stream over on his channel. You missed the food stream. And Miss Yolanda says 28-21 Ravens. And I'm understanding the close scores because it is a rivalry, right? But for that exact reason, I'm going to say we win 34-10. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go even 34-6. I don't think they score any touchdowns.
And you don't think they got the quarterback to do it?
I don't think they got the team to do it at all right now. I think we're just on this and this is my first time picking the Ravens in this type of blowout, but we're just on another level right now that we haven't been on in recent years. And I think the Bengals are going to give us trouble, but the Browns, I don't think they will. I think we run through this one. And I think that little comment by Garrett is enough motivation to make Lamar Jackson, the ultimate competitor, say, we're going to stomp you out for what you said. So
it wasn't a vegan food stream, but there was a vegan surprise.
You heard the man. There was a vegan surprise. I know exactly what you're talking about too.
Yeah,
when I says 45-10.
I think the biggest problem for the Browns, and this is something that has plagued us, they do not have Nick Chubb. So it's basically for us right now, it's play the run on the way to the quarterback.
Yep.
And for our benefit, we have running backs. So we have something Myles Garrett needs to worry about on the way to trying to find Lamar. Because you know what's crazy? Todd Monkey needs to take a page out of the book of, I don't think it was the Jets. Yeah, I think it was the Eagles. They located Micah Parsons and ran at him with pulling guards repeatedly every day. Oh, he's on over the left tackle. All right, we're pulling the right guard towards the left tackle. That's where we're running. He's on the right side. We're pulling the left guard. He's coming around the right tackle with the tight end following him. And that's what, they ran at Micah Parsons with the heaviest guys that they could find for the first half of the game. I'm pretty sure by the second half of the game, he was already sore.
Yeah. You know what? So speaking of those running backs you're talking about, the latest injury report did have Keaton Mitchell on it for his hamstring once again. So he said he was only a partial participant
I think that's a Harbs
today.
move.
So
That's a Harbs move. He's
I
trying to be
don't
like
know if it
Belichick.
was a I don't know if it was a Harbs move or if it was more of a let's rest him, you know, take it light so he doesn't retweak it or make it worse. And I'm hoping that's more of what it was. Maybe he'll be back to being a full participant
I mean,
tomorrow, or
I say
maybe
it
even
as
sit out
in
tomorrow.
I say it as in he's not hurt, but we're gonna go ahead put him on there, rest him a little bit, make them think we might not see him, and then we're gonna pop him out for eight runs.
Oh no, I don't even think that's even sort of kind of a thing where they think we won't see him. But it's I think it was just a Harbs is being more careful now with guys in their injuries. So I think that's what that was.
You know, it's crazy. I think somebody just bailed you out, Pimpin. Nope, never mind.
What you
I
mean?
thought it was. I mean,
What?
I thought Coach was going live and saved you, but you might as well finish these 3 minutes and 45 seconds and make it an hour stream.
All right, the last couple minutes and make it an hour stream. I could do that. I could do that. I could give you 3 more minutes. So while we got these 3 minutes, real quick, Keaton Mitchell. I think Michael Pierce mispracticed the other day, but I think he's fine. You know, that's like a veteran rest day type of thing. Keaton, like I said, I think it was the same thing. I think it was kind of rest him. You don't want to overwork the hamstring. It might have even been the doctors that said, hey, let him rest a little bit. Let that hammy start to heal up more before we get him out there running like a madman again.
Load
Because for all
management.
we know, yeah, because for all we know, that hammy could be the reason why he got caught on that last breakaway run play he had. That could have been another long touchdown, but he got
He
caught.
ran some
It looked
some
like he ran
yards
out of
on that
gas.
one. Yeah, he
Yeah,
ran some
it looked like
yards on
he ran
that
out of
one.
gas, but that could be because of the hammy. You know what I mean?
I mean, he
You
didn't,
got those.
stone it, so he did what he could though.
Oh man, we really doing that?
He ain't ran. Look, he was tired, but he ran to the middle of the field.
Hold on, Heaton Mitchell, because he fired. Listen, I agree 100%. The man's. I hate to be that guy to put so much stock into an undrafted rookie who's you know who had one good game, right? But sometimes when you see a player do certain things, you look and you go, okay, that's the missing ingredient. Because what he did well was the things you need to do well in his position, right? See the hole, attack the hole, go.
So Weezy. So Yolanda has a
Was good,
question,
Wheezy.
and
We also got Jay in the building, Mr. J the Six,
so you see
and
Yolanda's question.
Yolanda has a
It's a very
question
good
here.
question, and her answer is pretty good. But I'm gonna throw for the curveball. Stanley's gonna be Stanley. He's a good tackle. He's not going to be the great tackle that we all know and love. Whether he's still healing up or whether that time is just past. Simpson is the one you have to worry about because the quickest way to get to Lamar is through the 3 gap or the 5 gap. If Garrett can jump over and push Simpson back into the backfield, it ain't going to matter what type of game Stanley has because Stanley's just going to be over there trying to save Simpson's life. And then the outside linebacker is going to go right past Stanley. So if Simpson can't do his job and he's the weak link, it puts Stanley on a very hard island, especially if you have Garrett on his side and you put a linebacker on the outside of him. It's like, which one is now the most dangerous? Because if Garrett goes after Simpson, it's death. Like, I hope Lamar just sees it coming and just curls into a field position and just lays on the ground and wait for somebody to touch him. Because it's not going to be a fair fight on that side. Even last game, there were a couple plays where Stanley was trying to help Simpson and he missed his blocking assignment because Simpson's always in the damn backfield. I mean, that's about the only thing that
I'll
I can
say
say.
I agree with you on that, right? But to answer D Weezy here, Gus and Mitchell. That's thunder and lightning right there. All right, that's the perfect storm. I call him the perfect storm.
Gus has
Gus and
been
Mitchell.
having good
I don't.
games. He just doesn't get
Yeah,
the
Gus has been
recognition.
playing fine, but he's
We
for some reason permanently in John Harbaugh's doghouse to where he only gets a certain amount of carries. I mean, last week he had 5 carries for 54 yards. That's 10 yard average. So you can't really say he needs to be benched because of that.
right. And offensively, we need three to have the game that we have been expecting him to have. If three has those games that he had in New York or that he had in Cleveland that we've expected him to have, OBJ will make it so easy for the rest of the offense that it'll be ridiculous. If OBJ has the games that we're hoping that he has, what Garrett does doesn't matter. Because Lamar's just gonna sideways sling it. All right, cool. Cook.
So for me, to go back to Yolanda's question, right? On offense, I need to see Shaw Bateman just go off. Because I feel like he's one of those guys that's the key to the offense right now. Because OBJ, back in his career, a lot of injuries, been hurt, all this other stuff going on. So I need to see OBJ play better, of course, but I need to see Bateman go off because we can't continue to put everything on Zay, and we know Odell isn't going to be out there every play. So Bateman, I need to see Bateman have a game for offense, and for defense. Uh, for defense, I'm gonna come with a name that's you're probably not really expecting to hear, and he's not even a starter,
Simpson.
but Travis Jones, my guy, Travis Jones. I need to see some of that interior pressure that we drafted him for. I mean, he's run stuffing, but I need to see him push that line more. Um, Again, he's not starting, and it's understandable because Matabike is playing like a monster, and Big 58 is doing his thing. Michael Pierce is killing it. So it's not really a necessity for him to, you know, be there. But if he's gonna, like I said, Michael Pierce was on the injury report earlier this week. He's a veteran. You're gonna be the guy to come in when he rests. So when you come in, I don't want to see a drop off. You know what I mean? So I want to see more from Travis Jones. Um, Living Legend says I want to see Zay show up. Yo, Zay is a beast. I really do like Zay. I love Zay. I do. But yeah, I gotta see Bateman because Bateman is the guy he's the missing piece right now. He's like he's the one thing, he's the stopgap, right? So when
If
Zay's
you got
being
three
doubled,
guys, you got three good
yeah,
guys. You can't double all of them, and how you gonna stop the run at the same time?
exactly.
And
Exactly.
Lamar.
So Zay's that guy. As much as and Isaiah likely too, but Bateman's gotta be the one that's gotta play well.
I mean, if you get the three of them playing well, you have Mark, you have two running backs in Hill and Keaton that can just take it to the house. You have a guy who you can't keep a light box because he's going to run through it. And even if they don't do it, Lamar's just going to say, okay, I'm going to fake handoff, QB boot. You're going to have to stay in zone. And if one of your guys gets aggressive, my wide receiver gets behind him, I dump it off for 7.
No, I
And I can kill you
100%.
all game for that. I could kill you all game with that.
And D Weezy, I don't think we were saying that you were saying that Gus was playing bad. I think it was you said if he plays bad, then it's gonna be Mitchell time. And I think it's already Mitchell time, but I think it's Mitchell and Gus time. The only person here that should lose snaps in the running back room, as much as I
It's
like
Hill.
him, is Justice Hill. Because he can't see him and Lamar don't have that connection with the handoff. on those read option plays. So until they get that figured out, I think his play time needs to be lessened, and you need to feed Gus because if Gus is going to come out and he's going to average 10 yards a carry, and Keaton Mitchell's going to average 15 yards a carry, those are your guys. So I mean, what more can you ask of them, right? Those two guys, and Owe has been playing well, and he's been a pleasant surprise since coming back from being hurt, and I want to see him continue to grow. I know I talk a lot of junk about Owe in the past. I said a lot, but at the end of the day, I've never once said that I don't want to see him succeed, and so I do want to see Owe come out and have a heck of a game, but I don't think it's going to happen against this offensive line. Let's not act like the Browns don't have a good offensive line. They're actually pretty good there. Um,
I think they had one of the
but
highest paid offensive lines in the league at one point, and most of those
yeah,
guys are still there.
yeah. So I'd like to see him go off, but I don't know if this is the line that he's going to be able to do it against. Now, come next Thursday, Owe versus Little Brown Jr. Have at it, Owe. Eat him alive because he's the starting left
Pause.
tackle. Pause. He's the starting left tackle for the Bengals. So again, but that's Thursday. We can't worry about next Thursday right now. And just to give an update, I don't know what the score is down, but at halftime, Carolina was up 10-9 over the Bears. So it's actually a pretty good game going on. I know nobody's paying it any mind because of
It's
who it is,
10-9. It's 10-9
but
Carolina. And I know we have to worry about that Thursday game because somebody might be screaming that. You know what I mean? I ain't saying nothing, but
oh
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. Listen, so I'm gonna put this out there, and y'all let me know if y'all want me to do it. I know, coach is probably gonna do it. I know you got Engraven, a number of guys out there probably be streaming. But do you guys want to see this channel here live next Thursday? Ravens versus Bengals. Do y'all want to see that happen? I know there's a lot of other channels that's gonna be streaming, but y'all let me know if that's something y'all would be interested in because I might do it. I might do it. It's almost hard to pass up. And Living Legend said, "Keep pounding." And you know what? The Panthers, man, I really feel bad for Bryce because of that offensive line. They just can't seem to get it together. Iquanu's a very good tackle to me. He just hasn't been that in the NFL. But once they get that O line fixed and they get him some weapons, that offense is going to be, and it might not even be a matter of needing to get him weapons, right? They may play, those receivers may play better. You may see improvement if Bryce has time to actually drop back and look around and see what's going on. You might see improvement. You know what I mean? He could be one of those quarterbacks that once he gets time, he can prove to better the people around him, just like Lamar Jackson used to with all the receivers we had. What? Nah, B. Nah, B. We out of here. But
Oh, man.
Miss Yolanda, Living Legend, and Jay
And
all would
Weezy.
like to see that stream. And Wheezy. They'd all like to see that stream next week. So we gotta do it. But yeah, I like that one. All
Offensive
offensive
line.
line. Yeah, I like that. Because that's exactly what it is. Now we're
Raven
not doing
triple.
it. Hey, Raven C, bro, we not doing that. Y'all go tune in the Raven C channel too. You talking about bro be having me dying. I'll pop it on his channel all the time. Bro be having me dying. Oh, and I've made up my decision. I don't think I'm gonna get that Modern Warfare 3, by the way. I don't think I'm gonna get it, man. I've thought about it. I'm thinking on it hard. I just keep pause. I just can't get it. I can't go spend money on that game, man. They took Modern Warfare 2, repackaged it, fixed all the things that they should have never messed up in the first place, and then they gave you Verdansk. Well, everybody wants Verdansk. Amazing stage to play on. They gave you Verdansk in the story mode, but did not give it to you for Warzone. So that blew my mind. Like that was a slap in the face to all the fans.
Hold on. It's about to be a war in the chat. I need you to stay
I might
live
have to
until
do that
this
too.
war gets settled because D Weezy just shots fired. He dropping bombs
I
over
don't want to see
Baghdad.
this. OA played more snaps than Gross Matos and has less tackles and sacks. But,
Jesus.
why you gotta do that? The stream's almost over. You could have held on to that one, D.
Why you gotta go do that, huh?
You could have, bruh. You could have held on to that one a little longer. A little longer.
He
A
lobbed a
little
grenade
longer.
right before the final kill.
And you're right, Jay. COD and 2K will always be the same. You're right. And you know what? And throw Madden in that bundle because Madden's not changing now either. Madden's not changing now either. But to go back to what D Weezy said though, I think the real difference in that is that one guy, which is Gross Matos, has been a defensive end, a pass rusher all the time. He actually produced in college. Whereas the other guy, not so much. Right? He started football late, didn't produce his senior year, still got drafted in the first round for some reason. I'm never gonna let that go.
Somehow,
But
some way.
he's been showing growth this season. And I think if you look at the Ravens games, he's getting pressure. It doesn't always result in a sack, but he's getting pressure.
He
And I
affects the
wouldn't say
play.
he's necessarily a defensive, a difference maker on a defense, but he's helping the defense, right? I wouldn't say I kind of agree with this statement of he's not really a difference maker. I understand that because you could there's other guys you could plug into his spot and get more. I mean, we were all trying to get a pass rusher at the trade deadline, so
Van Noy.
yeah, and Van Noy's playing better than he is, but he's growing though, and I think that's what we want to see. I think that's what Yolanda likes to point out to us is that he's growing, he's getting better, and he's going to turn into a difference maker on the defense, and that's what we're hoping for as Ravens fans. We are all hoping for that. Now I know you're a Panthers fan, D Weezy, but you like to see young talent grow too. We all do.
What the
So I think
problem
that's
is,
that's
mainly,
really the big
is
thing.
the problem is he's a first rounder, and he should have came in better than he arrived, and he should be improving on that. But he basically arrived with what was
Here
it
right was nothing.
two sacks. One was for a strip fumble, and last year, he got his second sack at what game 15. His drafted counterpart, who was injured with an ACL, had half the amount of sacks in 20 snaps.
So yeah, I mean, up until now, I'm not even gonna say up until now. Every year thus far, he's gotten his
He's
production is going
improved.
the wrong way. No, his production is going backwards. Rookie
I
year he
mean,
had
this
5
year,
sacks. Last year he had 3 sacks. This year you know, he's gonna get there. He's gonna. I think this year is when he starts to turn it around,
yeah,
and a
it's
lot
just
of that is the rush doctor, right?
it should
He's
be
got some help.
for a first rounder, your learning curve has to be a lot smaller.
Yes,
And even
yes.
though people say PQ took 3 years to round into form, PQ led us in tackles 2 of those first 3 years. He led us in tackles. He was leading us in tackles when we got Roquan. He just had a bad issue not finishing his tackles. That was his
Not
biggest
only
problem.
did he lead us in tackles, right? Not only did he lead us in tackles, but he was also playing out of position. A lot of people forget that. That was
I don't
not
forget it.
PQ's natural position. So he played phenomenally well for a guy playing out of position. And that's why he's shining now because he's back in his natural position. So so yes, it takes time for some of these first rounders to grow, but that's because they probably should have been first rounders to begin with. Just saying.
And that's the only thing. If he was a second, if he was a third or fourth rounder like Malik, nobody would be tripping. People would be like, he's doing very good for what we expected.
Yeah.
But you drafted in the first round, like, yeah, you got to come up with something. Hollywood was drafted in the first round, and he had drops, but that boy had 1,000 yards every season.
Listen, so I ran into this thing a while back I saw, and somebody stated that Zay Flowers was kind of just like, what did he say? Zay Flowers like was in Hollywood Brown are basically one and the same, right? Or the difference between no, that's what he said. The difference between Zay Flowers and Hollywood Brown is the hands, and that's where I had to step back and say that's not
The
true.
route running is different.
The in college, Zay Flowers had drop issues. He got called out a number of times for dropping the ball. I think the real difference is one of the guys, once he gets the ball in his hands, he's a weapon. He's going to get extra yards. He's going to fight through tackles. He's going to break guys' ankles. And the other one is just a straight line guy. So if he can get some open space when he got the ball, then he's gone. But if not, he's getting tackled by the first guy. And we
But
know
the biggest thing with the two of them that I noticed, Zay runs the up 90 across. Brown ran a curved route. He never stuck that foot in the ground and hit the 90. Like he didn't have that explosive quickness that Zay has to
no,
stop.
at all.
Stop, make his turn, take off. Once he started his run, like he had a curve. Like there was no 90-degree
Hollywood
angle
Brown,
to his moves. He always had to round every route out, which just gave the
and
defensive
that's
back
where
time to know
you're
where he was
absolutely
going.
right. You're absolutely right. And that's where I compare Zay Flowers to Antonio Brown because of his route running ability, right? Hollywood Brown is fast with no wiggle. He's he's a
Duvernay.
faster Devin Duvernay. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
And
You were
Duvernay's
thinking
a
what I was
faster
thinking.
approach.
Yeah. So they're one and the same. So we essentially had three guys at wide receiver that were the same player. And
And none of
that's
them
why
could
we
run
had
on
issues.
a route. None of them could run on a route one-on-one, and we didn't scheme them open either.
And here's the crazy thing. Even with those guys all being the same, Duvernay, even with Hollywood being faster, I'd still take Duvernay on returns over Hollywood, as wild as that sounds.
Better hands. Bless you.
Thank you. Better hands, and I think he has just that much, that minuscule amount, that much more wiggle than Hollywood.
Yeah. If
Other than
Hollywood
that,
stops,
they're all stiff guys.
yeah, if Hollywood stops, it's over.
Yeah.
Right? If he stops to
And
try to
that's
cut
where
back across field, he's getting caught.
the difference comes in with Zay. Because he's got that real nasty like.
Let me quantify it for you. There ain't no way in ever loving hell we would put Marlowe one-on-one with Zay and not pray to God that the QB don't see it. You could do that with Brown, even though he's faster. He can't surprise you with the move. Like you could stumble, but he can't really surprise. Zay would hit a stop and go on Marlowe, and it would be Marlowe wouldn't get a handle. It'd be over.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh. I'll compile a list of all the DNs drafted in the first 3 rounds in the last 3 years. How y'all think Owe will stand up?
I think he'll be top 20.
He'll be.
I'll give him top 20, but
I'll give him top 15.
I don't think it's that great of a list, honestly.
Yeah, he'll probably be close to the top 10, if not in the top 10. That list can't be that crazy. Over the last 3 years, we haven't had many freakish defensive ends come out in the draft. Like there's been a few here and there, but not really. I'll take that. I'll take if you do me a favor, definitely do that list and I put it up in the Discord because I'd love to check that out. I'd love to check that out, and that'll be something I definitely I gotta have you on the show one day, D Weezy, so we can get that list up here and we can have that conversation because
Dang, you gotta do all the work to get on his show. Ain't that some new shit?
that's wow. It ain't even like that, bro. Ain't even like that.
You're on the stream with me. You should have seen that coming. I've been a very good boy.
I did see it coming. Actually, I saw it coming 100%. I tried to keep talking right through it, so you didn't get it off. But I paused for a quarter of a second. You got it. Yeah, but that was that. Listen, I think Owe, when it comes to that, he stacks up pretty well, and it'll look good. But again, for a guy drafted in the first round, you expect more, and that's never going to change. We expect more. He said, "Turn down the offer." See what you did. See what you did. But it is time for us to go. You suckered me into an additional 20 minutes, right?
Look,
You fell into
look,
that.
I said 90 minutes when we started. I was gonna do everything I could to be right.
She said, I'm gonna be in Discord. I want to see this.
She for real
But
don't never be in the Discord. If you don't mention Yolanda's
she
name,
don't
she'll never
ever,
pop up.
ever, ever. But I'm gonna be real with you, B. The real reason I stayed the extra time is because I love doing this. I absolutely love doing this.
I know
This
you
is
just need the motivation.
it's not even that. It's
Just little
the missus
scooch.
walked in the building. So the missus walked in the building already. She's doing good. Everything seems fine. So it's like, oh, I could go a little longer, you know. But I love doing this. I love being, on here. I love streaming,
Nah,
being
it's
able to
gonna need to
talk to
be
my
a
people,
intermittent. It's
communicate with
gonna
my
need to be
people, talk sports.
it's gonna need to be an intermission at the 90-minute mark.
Now, ain't gonna be no 90-minute mark. We still gonna get out of here now, right? D Weezy said, "Listen, no 2 hours, Jay." And D Weezy said he'll have the list done by Sunday. So that sounds good to me. And
Just
we'll hit
make
him
sure
with a
I'm there for
longer
that because
stream
I
Sunday.
got to see this.
We'll hit him with another stream Sunday after the game. This is our pregame show now. Like I'm not even gonna bother to do the early morning show Sunday because I got church and things like that. So I'd rather
I'm
be
just
able to go ahead
old.
and sit in church comfortably and not have to rush to get to the stream. So we will do a post game show though. So that's it for us tonight. Y'all, it's been fun. It's been great. It's been amazing as usual.
Oh yeah, Weezy, your
Uh,
stuff is on the way.
Mr. Co-host, you want to tell them where they can find you?
I mean, A6 Ghost on YouTube and and things like that. And, unfortunately, Twitter and Instagram that was taken, so it's A6 Ghost with a underscore at the end. And yeah, it just be like that sometimes. You catch me here every Thursday talking cash.
All right, you heard the man, and y'all know me, living big with Big Reg, here on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok. Which I gotta start posting on TikTok more because that's where a lot of mine. I know I stopped doing the motivational Mondays really here because I got to get the
What's up, Jared?
algorithm down right with YouTube. But you can find some more of my motivation stuff over on TikTok. So I'm gonna be
You
doing
know,
those videos over on TikTok. So go check me out over there. All right, I'll
I'm,
be there on the motivation. Salute Jared. Salute to the brother. Y'all please go subscribe to Jared too. Great content over there.
I'm gonna ask you a question since we're here and you always keep bothering me about it. This
Oh,
man, for
Miss,
some
hold on before
reason,
you hit that. Hold on before you hit that question. Y'all see what Miss Shalonda said? Please hit the like button, like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Tell a friend to tell a friend. Come back and visit us again.
Oh,
We love it. Go ahead, sir. What's your question?
so this man keeps driving me crazy about starting a TikTok. What are the opinions of the chat about starting a TikTok for these quick food shorts?
Well, not only those though.
No responses. I'm good to go. We'll never speak about this again.
You do. Hold on. First off, you can't end that survey that fast. But you do more than just the quick food shorts. You know what I'm saying? You do a lot of content that's more than just food shorts, and I'm saying that you should put that content on TikTok as well because it's stuff that people need to see, people need to hear. That's all I'm saying.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't think so.
You should do it. Hey, as soon as the video is done, hit the comments. Matter of fact, go put a post on your page asking, put a poll, yes or no to doing TikTok.
You know what, Weezy?
Weezy already agreed.
I think your shirt just got lost in transit.
Nah, you can't. Nah, you ain't gonna do D Weezy like that. Sit that man's shirt. Listen, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. He will be making a TikTok soon. I'm gonna stay on him about it. I'm gonna pressure him about it because he needs to do it. I'm gonna get back to posting on TikTok myself.
Shit, I ain't about to teach nobody how to cook.
Facts. Why not? You know how. Well, I'm telling you, they'll just sit there and watch it with the videos. If you post one video, right, of a recipe, and you cooking the recipe, just show you cooking it, and then list what the ingredients are. People will watch that. You'll get one person to watch that video 150 times just so they can get the ingredients down right. And I'm telling you, you'll blow up on people blow up on TikTok 100 times faster than they do on YouTube, right? I'm not saying get rid of your YouTube. I'm saying use TikTok to help build your YouTube, which is what I was doing. But I fell off of it, so I got to get back to it.
So because you fell off of it, now I got to do it with you. So this is like call a friend to help
that's
you with
part
your
of
weight
it.
loss plan.
That's part of it. Yes, 100%.
So we weight loss buddies. Okay.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean,
sounds like part of a sales pitch.
Going the opposite of losing the weight, but you know. But we gonna get out of here now. All right. Thank y'all again for coming through. We love y'all. Stay blessed. Peace.
So now we can all of a sudden